Welcome back to Easy English Talk Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. Priya, hey, how are you doing? How has your day been so far?
Ryan, honestly, it has been a good one. I had a quiet morning, made some tea, and just felt very calm and grateful today. How about you? What have you been up to?
I love that. My day has been pretty steady. Had a couple of good conversations and just felt really focused. There is something in the air lately that feels a little more mindful, you know?
I know exactly what you mean. I think a lot of people around the world are feeling that right now, especially with Ramadan here. There is just a different kind of energy this time of year.
That is so true. And before we get into today's topic, I want to take a moment to speak to everyone listening or watching right now. Hey, wherever you are in the world, we are really glad you are here with us today.
Yes, truly. Whether you are listening on your commute, relaxing at home, or sitting somewhere quiet during this blessed month, we welcome you warmly. This episode was made with you in mind.
And we always love hearing from you. So please, drop a comment and let us know where you are listening from. Are you in the UK, Canada, Australia, the US, or somewhere else entirely? We really do read your messages.
We do. And also, we want to ask you something honestly. Is Easy English Talk Podcast helping you improve your English? Is it helping you grow as a person? Because that is exactly why we are here.
If it is helping you, tell us in the comments. And if there's something you want us to do better, tell us that too. We are always learning, just like you are. Now, today we are discussing 8 daily habits that will transform your Ramadan.
And this is an episode you are going to want to stay with until the very end, because these are not just spiritual tips. These habits also build your focus, your discipline, your mindset, and honestly, they will improve your life long after Ramadan is over.
Exactly. So whether you observe Ramadan or not, these habits carry real wisdom for everyone. And for our English learners, listening carefully to this conversation is already helping you build your fluency, your listening skills, and your vocabulary.
So stay with us. By the end of this episode, you will have 8 clear, practical, and meaningful habits that you can start using right away. And you will understand why Ramadan, when approached with intention, can truly change a person.
Let us start by talking about something important. A lot of people approach Ramadan the same way every year. They fast, they pray, they wait for Eid, and then life goes back to normal. And there is nothing wrong with that on the surface.
But deep down, many people feel like they are not getting the full benefit of this month. They feel tired, distracted, or like Ramadan is passing too quickly. And at the end of it, they wonder why they do not feel as transformed as they hoped.
That is a very real experience. Ramadan comes with so much potential. It's a month designed for deep reflection, spiritual growth, and self-improvement. But without the right habits, that potential can slip through our fingers.
And this is the core problem we want to talk about today. It's not that people are doing Ramadan wrong. It's that most people have never been shown how to approach it with structure, with intention, and with daily habits that actually work.
So today, we are going to give you those habits, 8 of them. Each one is simple, each one is practical, and each one builds on the other. Together, they create a Ramadan experience that is deeper, more meaningful, and truly transformative.
And here's what we love about these habits. They aren't extreme. You do not need to be a scholar or a saint to follow them. You just need to be willing to try, to be consistent, and to give this beautiful month the attention it deserves.
All right, let us go through them one by one. The first habit is waking up for suhoor with intention. Now, most people who fast already wake up for suhoor because they need to eat before the fast begins. But the habit is not just about eating.
That is such an important point. Suhoor time, those quiet hours before dawn, is one of the most spiritually powerful parts of the day. And yet, most people rush through it. They eat quickly, scroll their phones, and go back to sleep.
But imagine if you used that time differently. Imagine waking up just 20 or 30 minutes earlier than you need to. Sitting in silence, making a small prayer, setting your intention for the day, and allowing yourself to feel the peace of that quiet hour.
The early morning, especially before Fajr, has a very special quality to it. It is still and calm. Your mind has not yet been filled with noise and worries. That is when your intentions are the clearest and your connection to something greater feels the strongest.
And when you start your day with intention, it changes everything that comes after it. You approach your fast differently. You speak differently. You think differently. It is like the whole day gets a foundation that holds it up.
So the first habit is simple. Wake up for suhoor, eat, yes, but also take 5 or 10 minutes to sit quietly. Make a prayer or set a clear intention, and decide who you want to be that day. That small act is more powerful than most people realize.
Habit 2 is to protect your morning energy. After Fajr prayer, many people go straight back to sleep, and sometimes rest is genuinely needed. But there is a tradition, a wisdom really, that says the early morning hours are the most blessed and productive of the day.
In many cultures and spiritual traditions around the world, not just Islam, there is a recognition that the hours between Fajr and sunrise are deeply valuable. This is when your mind is fresh, when the world is quiet, and when you can do your best thinking.
So the second habit is to try and stay awake after Fajr, even for just an hour or so. Use that time to read Quran, journal your thoughts, reflect on your goals, or simply sit in gratitude. Let that morning energy carry you forward instead of sleeping it away.
Now, we understand that not everyone can do this every day, especially if work or family life makes it difficult. But even 3 or 4 mornings a week of protecting that early time can make a significant difference to how your Ramadan feels.
And there is a practical side to this too. When you start your mornings with calm and reflection instead of rushing and noise, you feel more in control of your day. You feel less reactive, more patient, and more grounded. And patience is truly one of the greatest gifts Ramadan can give you.
Absolutely. And that patience connects beautifully to our third habit. Habit 3 is to fast with awareness, not just an empty stomach. This is where Ramadan really begins to work on a deeper level. And this is where most people miss the real point of fasting.
Fasting, of course, means not eating or drinking during daylight hours, but the true purpose of fasting in Ramadan is much bigger than that. It is about training every part of you: your tongue, your eyes, your ears, your thoughts, and your heart.
A person who fasts but spends the day arguing, complaining, watching things they should not, or speaking unkindly is technically fasting but missing the spirit of it entirely. And there is even a saying that if you do not leave bad speech and bad actions, there is no need for you to leave your food and drink.
That is a profound idea. It means fasting is meant to be total. You are fasting from negativity, from anger, from gossip, from distraction. You are not just resting your stomach. You are resting and purifying your whole self.
So the third habit is to check in with yourself throughout the day. Ask yourself quietly, am I being patient right now? Am I speaking well? Am I thinking good thoughts? This small habit of self-awareness can shift your entire experience of fasting.
And it's not about being perfect. Nobody is perfect. It's about being conscious. It's about noticing when you slip and gently bringing yourself back. That practice of awareness is actually a form of spiritual training that builds strength over time.
And speaking of building strength over time, habit 4 connects really beautifully here. Habit 4 is to read Quran every single day, even if it's just a small amount. Consistency matters more than quantity during this month.
Many Muslims set big goals at the start of Ramadan. They want to read the entire Quran in 30 days. And that's a wonderful goal, but for many people, that goal becomes overwhelming very quickly, and by the second week, they have already fallen behind and feel defeated.
So the habit we want to encourage is this. Decide on a realistic daily amount. Maybe it's 1 page, maybe it's 5 verses, maybe it's 1 full chapter, but make it something you can genuinely commit to every single day without fail.
Because a small amount read every day with presence and reflection will do far more for your heart and mind than a rushed large reading done just to meet a number. The goal of reading Quran is to connect, to understand, and to be moved by it.
And if you do not understand Arabic, read a translation alongside it. Sit with the meaning. Ask yourself what this verse is saying to you today, in your life, right now. That kind of engaged reading is deeply transformative.
There is also something quietly beautiful about making Quran a daily habit. Over time, it changes the way you think. It gives you language for your emotions. It offers comfort when you are struggling and guidance when you are lost. It becomes a companion.
And that is what we want for everyone listening. Not just a Ramadan habit, but a relationship with something meaningful that carries you through the whole year. And that brings us naturally to habit 5, which is one of our personal favorites.
Habit 5 is to give something every day. And we do not just mean money, although charity is a huge part of Ramadan. We mean giving in any form. A kind word, a helping hand, a smile, your time, your patience, your attention.
Ramadan is known as the month of generosity, and there is a reason for that. When you are fasting and feeling the discomfort of hunger and thirst, you naturally begin to think about those who experience that feeling not by choice, but because they have no other option.
That feeling of empathy is one of the greatest gifts fasting can give you. And when you act on that empathy by giving, something changes in you. You feel more connected to humanity. You feel less focused on your own problems and more open to the world around you.
And generosity does not have to be big or expensive. During Ramadan, even giving a date or a glass of water to someone breaking their fast carries great meaning. Even checking in on a neighbor, helping a friend, or donating a small amount to a cause you believe in counts deeply.
So the fifth habit is to find one way to give something every single day. It does not need to be grand, it just needs to be genuine. A daily act of giving, no matter how small, keeps your heart soft and your spirit aligned with the true purpose of this month.
And a soft heart leads us perfectly into habit 6. Habit 6 is to guard your tongue and choose your words carefully. This is one of the most challenging habits for most people, but it is also one of the most powerful.
We all know that feeling of saying something in the heat of the moment and immediately wishing we had not. Words can hurt, and they can also heal. During Ramadan, there is extra awareness around speech because words are considered acts too, just like physical actions.
Gossiping about someone, speaking harshly, complaining constantly, or saying things that create conflict, these are all things that weaken the spirit of your fast. They drain your energy and they damage your relationships and your inner peace.
And the opposite is also true. When you speak kindly, when you speak truthfully, when you hold your tongue instead of saying something hurtful, you feel lighter. You feel more at peace with yourself. There is a real and immediate reward for choosing your words well.
So the 6th habit is to set a daily intention around your speech. In the morning, when you set your intention for the day, you can add something like, "Today I will not speak unkindly. Today I will think before I speak. Today I will choose honesty over gossip."
And when you slip, because we all do, you simply notice it, acknowledge it, and return to your intention. This is not about shame or punishment. It is about growth. Ramadan is a training ground, and every moment offers a chance to do better.
That spirit of returning gently to your best self is really at the heart of all these habits, and it connects beautifully to habit 7, which is about reflection and journaling, specifically taking time each evening to reflect on your day.
Habit 7 is an evening reflection practice. This does not need to be long or complicated. Even 5 minutes before you sleep, thinking back over your day honestly and quietly can have an enormous impact on your growth during Ramadan.
The idea is simple. You ask yourself a few honest questions at the end of each day. Did I fast with awareness today? Did I speak well? Did I give something? Did I read a little from the Quran? Did I maintain my intention throughout the day?
And you answer those questions honestly, not to judge yourself, but to understand yourself. Where did you do well today? Where did you struggle? What will you try differently tomorrow? This kind of reflection is one of the most underused tools for personal growth.
Writing your answers in a journal makes this even more powerful. When you write things down, they become more real. You begin to notice patterns. You see your own progress over the days and weeks of Ramadan, and that sense of growth is deeply motivating.
Even if you are not a writer, even if you just write a few sentences, the act of sitting down and asking yourself honest questions every evening builds a habit of self-awareness that will serve you far beyond Ramadan.
And there is something else that happens when you journal during Ramadan. You create a record of one of the most meaningful months of your year. Years from now, you can look back at what you wrote and remember how you felt, what you learned, and who you are becoming.
That is such a beautiful thought. These words become a kind of map of your inner journey. And as we move to our 8th and final habit, this idea of the inner journey becomes very central, because habit 8 is perhaps the most important one of all.
Habit 8 is to end each day with gratitude, specifically naming at least 3 things you are grateful for before you sleep. And while this sounds simple, maybe even a little obvious, the way you do it and the consistency of doing it every night makes all the difference.
Gratitude is one of those things that almost everyone agrees is important, but very few people practice in a deep and deliberate way. We say thank you, yes. We feel grateful sometimes, yes. But sitting down and naming your blessings with full attention and sincerity is a different practice entirely.
During Ramadan, gratitude is amplified. When you fast, you feel the value of a glass of water in a way you never do when you are not fasting. You feel grateful for your health, for your food, for your family, for your home. The fast makes you feel blessings you usually take for granted.
And when you end your day by naming those blessings out loud or in writing, you carry that sense of abundance into your sleep and into the next morning. You wake up differently. You start your fast differently. Gratitude creates a kind of cycle of positivity that builds on itself.
There is also research from psychology that shows people who practice daily gratitude have higher levels of well-being, better sleep, stronger relationships, and greater resilience. So this is not just a spiritual practice. It is also deeply good for your mental health.
So habit 8 is this. Every night before you sleep, name 3 things you are genuinely grateful for. Make them specific. Not just, I am grateful for my family, but I am grateful that my daughter called me today and made me laugh. That specificity makes the gratitude real and felt.
And as you go through all 8 of these habits together, you begin to see how they connect. Waking with intention, protecting your morning, fasting with awareness, reading with presence, giving daily, speaking with care, reflecting honestly, and ending with gratitude. Together, they form a complete daily practice.
Each habit supports the others. When you wake with intention, you fast with more awareness. When you fast with awareness, you speak more carefully. When you speak carefully, you have less to feel guilty about when you reflect in the evening. And when you reflect honestly, your gratitude at night feels more genuine.
This is why we called them transformative habits and not just tips or tricks. They are not quick fixes. They are a daily practice that, if followed with sincerity throughout Ramadan, will genuinely change the way you see yourself and the world around you.
And the beautiful thing is that transformation that happens in Ramadan does not have to end when Ramadan ends. These habits are for life. The discipline of fasting trains you for discipline in all areas. The generosity of Ramadan can become a year-round way of being.
The self-awareness you build through reflection in Ramadan can become your normal way of moving through the world. The gratitude you practice every night can become the lens through which you see your whole life. Ramadan plants seeds, and these habits are how you water them.
So as we bring this conversation to a close, let us quickly go through all 8 habits one more time. First, wake up for suhoor with intention. Second, protect your morning energy after Fajr. Third, fast with full awareness, not just an empty stomach.
Fourth, read Quran every day, even a small amount, with presence and reflection. Fifth, give something every day, in any form. Sixth, guard your tongue and choose your words with care. Seventh, reflect on your day each evening through journaling or quiet thought.
And 8th, end every night with genuine, specific gratitude. 8 habits, 30 days. And if you follow them with sincerity, the changes you will feel will go beyond this month. They will stay with you.
We want to say to everyone listening, whether you are Muslim or not, whether you observe Ramadan or not, these habits carry wisdom that belongs to everyone. They're about becoming more intentional, more aware, more generous, and more grateful. And that is something all of us can use more of.
We are truly grateful that you spent this time with us today. It means everything to us to know that you are here, that you are learning, that you are growing. And if this episode has given you even one idea that you will carry into your day, then we have done our job.
Ramadan Mubarak to all who are observing. And to everyone, we wish you peace, clarity, and a month filled with meaning. Thank you for being part of the Easy English Talk podcast family. We genuinely love having you here.
And before we go, we want to invite you to explore other episodes on the Easy English Talk podcast channel. We have conversations on self-growth, mindfulness, communication, and so much more, all in simple, clear English that helps you improve your fluency while also improving your life.
So if today's episode resonated with you, there's a good chance another one will too. Browse through our episodes, find a topic that speaks to you, and keep the conversation going. We are always here, always ready, and always glad you found us.
Until next time, take care of yourselves, be kind to those around you, and keep growing. This is Ryan, signing off from Easy English Talk Podcast.
And this is Priya. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you in the next one.